And thank you all for being here. It's just such an honor to be amongst just phenomenal individuals like yourself who are just doing some amazing work in our communities to make sure that we make this a better place for our future generations. You know, I was just inspired, you know, listening to just all the innovation that's here. And I know that working together, we can make that difference. Whether, you know, it's so many issues that we're facing currently, whether it's healthcare, inclusion. Just these past few weeks, we've seen in the news the impact of climate change. You know, and I've always said that no one individual, no company, no individual government agency, no single nonprofit organization will solve all of these issues, but it is working together that we can make it happen. And it's even that much more powerful using technology as we've seen today. So, you know, when we talk about technology, we also talk about the fact, or we can't lose sight of the fact that there are many of us here that have multiple devices and have access to technology, but there are millions who are on the opposite side of the divide. That's the digital divide, that don't have access. And it is our most vulnerable populations. It's our low-income individuals, families, and seniors. And it's those individuals that can benefit the most from a lot of these services. And it's those individuals that we need to make sure that we're including and engaging in all of these issues that we have to solve as a community. And so when we talk about making sure that we close the digital divide, we need to keep in mind that if we do that, you know, that will help us achieve, you know, or close that achievement gap. It will help to close the equity gap. It will help to empower our most vulnerable communities with the skill sets that they need for the jobs of today and the jobs of tomorrow. I remember what Sid was saying, that there is, you know, with the advancement of technology means that we're gonna have to make sure that these communities have the skill sets that they need to make sure that they're also working and contributing to our economies. And most importantly, it's to ensure that they are also civically engaged. And so it's for that reason that 6 years ago, Comcast embarked on a journey to do our part to close the digital divide. And at that point, we wanted to create something that would address the three barriers to having access. One, being affordable internet service. Second was an affordable computer. And then third, most importantly, was having access to digital literacy training in community, in language, and in culture. And we created a program called Internet Essentials. And it's just had, you know, a remarkable impact in so many lives. And I want to show you a video so that you can hear from some of our partners that we worked with, as well as those who are customers of Internet Essentials, to share their stories of the impact the program has had.
Having internet in a home, it would be much easier than getting on the bus, especially with a 1-year-old baby, just to get to the internet. It takes 2 or 3 buses.
There's a digital divide. Families who don't have access to technology, they're excluded from conversations.
Those growing gaps are building inequality into this country at higher and higher rates. Internet access to everyone means that we can start to close that gap.
When I was unemployed, not having the internet made it so difficult for me to try and find another job. Even my 5th grader is required to do homework online.
Learning today can take place 24/7, anytime, anywhere, as long as you have the appropriate tools. And the tools are tools of empowerment.
Internet Essentials represents our company's commitment to bringing the dream of broadband to every single American, regardless of the income level of their family or the zip code where they live.
Internet Essentials is a tool of opportunity. But Internet Essentials, more importantly, is about building hope.
Through Internet Essentials, I was able to get internet at home so that I could look for a job.
If it wasn't for Internet Essentials, these families might never understand how they could be connected to the internet, and it's life-changing for them.
Internet is essential for all of us and for everyone, school-age children, working individuals, seniors. I mean, there's not much you do today that is not internet-based.
We address all of the major barriers to broadband adoption. Significant digital literacy training, discounted service, and we provide a subsidized and discounted computer to ensure that everyone in our country is able to compete in a 21st century economy. Over its first 6 years of operation, we've been able to connect over 1 million families, over 4 million low-income Americans to the internet at home, most of them for the first time in their lives.
When you're talking with people who didn't have access and didn't even know this was available, it's almost if their whole world is opening up.
Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Argentina, and Chile.
You can look at the statistics and be blown away by them, but for me, the impact of this program is not told through the statistics. It's told through seeing story after story after story of people's lives being transformed.
When you see a student understanding that they can now do that homework, it's amazing.
You can go onto Wikipedia, chat with my friends long distance.
To do my master online.
Without the internet, then I wouldn't have got a.
My youngest son, he wanted to be a lawyer, but now he says, so many options out here. I don't know what I want to be anymore.
To some people, it may seem like a little thing, but to people that can't afford it and can't get it, it means a lot.
Wherever you go, you should feel like that's the greatest place to be. If not, change something. And that's what I teach my kids.
So that was 1 million connected households, and that is the equation of 4 million low-income Americans connected to the internet now. And that success would not have happened without all our amazing partners, whether it be, over 9,000 community-based organizations, elected officials, businesses, all working with us in collaboration to ensure that their constituents were connected. You don't do it alone, you do it together. And we can't thank them enough for being on this journey with us. And so today, as we talk about civic engagement, one of the other things that's imminent, and 2020 will be here before we know it, is that we have a census coming up in 2020. And for the first time, that census will be on a digital platform. It's already been challenging making sure that we counted our most vulnerable communities. Can you imagine if we don't close that divide, how much more challenging that will be? So today, I invite you to join us to help us close that divide. And I invite you to go to internetessentials.com and become a partner. There's all kinds of materials there. There's posters, there's brochures, there's a lot of digital literacy tools and videos that you can use to help us carry that message. And so again, I thank you for being here. I thank you for what you're doing. And together, we can make that difference.